Everyone, this is how it went this round. So not too bad. Could be being a bit better, but yeah, mostly I'm in an upwards direction. So 1,866. Um, round two ranked 15,627, and I'm in the top 10,000, which is not bad for me. Usually I start off slow. This year seems to be a little bit better so far, but there are a few things I do have a bit of concern about. So start off with Sinclair here to right, 118. And then we've got Connor Rosie, 55. So not too sure what happened then. He got injured. Seems a bit, yeah, it's quite low for Rosie, so that might be another player we might have to trade out. We've got Archie Roberts, 102. A lot better than last week, so that's a pod. So needed him to bounce back. So I'm happy about that. But that's really the only good thing about this game from the Essendon Port game to really say. It's probably one of our better players. Wins at 53, so that's a bit of concern. Yeah, I might have got a bit of a trapped in that one. I mean, who knows? I mean, Melbourne got belted, so you know, it's not huge. I mean, hopefully we'll get at least a higher score than that. I mean, even a 70 or 80. He's not really going to generate in cash, so yeah, that one's a bit annoying, particularly this time of the year or the season. And Jake's 70, which is great, and seems to be one of the better rookies, or at least the best rookie defender so far this season. And then we've got Grill, 43, so only lost 5 points with Sarong, which isn't really particularly that much of a big deal. A little bit annoying. He didn't do too well, Grill or even Sarong. So I could have taken that loophole advantage, but I gambled on it and lost. Wasn't not a huge problem. And then Butters, 135. So he bounced back this week, Butters, a lot better. But this is a kick up the arse here with Sarong. So I traded Sarong. He didn't really want to do so that much, but I had a bit of extra, quite a fair bit of money left over. I'm thinking, what should I do? Should I bring in Bontempelli? Do you want to pay that much? And then the players sort of just below Bontempelli. It wasn't really anyone else I want to pick for that price. I was thinking, hopefully they can drop down a bit. So Sarong, believed he got tagged. That's the reason why he scored low. So look, in hindsight, it's one of those things that's a tough decision to make. We'll expect him to at least get above 100, 110 and make a bit of money. So, or go up in price. So, sometimes it's not best to follow the popular crowd. Yeah, we'll soon wait and see though. I mean, he's still going to score well this season. I just think that might be one of his lowest scores of the season. So, hopefully, it's like I've betted him to last year and it didn't really work that well. It wasn't a disaster, but and then Projaka 86, so disappointing. I know after 152, 152 matches, 152 points. His last two games, we're expecting hopefully at least above 100, 110, but he's just there. I mean, look, an off game. 86 is not terrible, but everyone has Petrarca, so I'm not bothered by it. I did have his VC though. I was hoping he would get 150 plus again against a weaker side and, and go bananas, but yeah, it wasn't to be. And then Parrish, disappointing. Yeah, 67. It's just not good enough for a player of his ability. Don't think I want to lose too much cash. It all depends on how he does next week. And then Dylan Shah, 14. God. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, this one, not that great. I had all these other ones off the bench anyway. I don't think he wasn't part of my total final score anyway. So it wasn't a huge deal. But for cash generation, it's going to halter. And he might even be dropped next week. So that's not good. So very disappointing with Parrish and Sharp. Yeah, Parrish might have been a bit of a trap. He's got North though, so I mean, if Essendon do play a lot better, I'm expecting him to get a bit better score. So, and he's still coming back from injury, so yeah. Uh, Sharp 14. Yeah. He's probably going to get dropped. And Watkins, bit of a saviour, 74. That's great for his price point, and he's going to go up if he plays next week, which he should. And same as Blemeyers, did well. Happy with them too. And then we've got Murdoch, 92. So he's performed well again. Traded him in, and looks like that's been a good decision. And then obviously, those three players had the bye. Should solve the midfield problems next week. And then we've got a Sherry 199. Gosh, I wish I picked him as captain. Yeah, I mean, I expected him to do well this match, but geez, 199. Gosh. I had a feeling he was going to go big, but, I was putting the money on Cecil. Cecil did alright, but 199 against probably the weakest ruckman in the competition. Yeah, I mean, that's phenomenal. I mean, glad to pick Sherry. I mean, a lot of people were off him at his price, and I sort of was, but like, there was no other player wanted around that price due to the age, and the price point factor. I think, Sherry's got an easy run. We're taking advantage from that, and look, I'm happy with that decision. And English, just a nice 114, and he's gone up slightly in price. So that seems to be an alright selection so far. And then you've obviously got ZZ here. Hopefully does get selected next week. I'm a bit 50-50 on that. He's done well though. Probably doesn't deserve to be dropped, but you've got other players in the defensive and ruckman position who are higher up with Draper and Fort. So we'll see on that. And if Harris Andrews comes in, I'm worried he might not get selected. And then Sheasel Hunter happy with that. I mean, it's all right. Could be worse. Wish I put it on Sherry though. Gosh, I would have been would have went up even further in the rankings. And pick at 86, bit average, just like this selection. So I was a big skeptic about this selection. Wanted to go something a little bit different since everyone had pretty much the same forward line or pretty much almost identical. I mean, Melbourne got smashed by 10 goals, so I wasn't expecting too much. So I guess that's okay, but we'll have to wait and see with this one. Oh man, I've got bigger problems. So, and then Flanders 81, just an average game. So maybe a little disappointing. With Flanders. I mean, going based off the first few rounds here, I think it's quite clear he's probably going to be averaging around 90, 95, 90, hopefully. Well, not hopefully, but at this stage, might make a little bit of money, but I don't know if he's going to be that primo or be a maybe semi-premium option at this stage. It's hard to tell. He's a hold at this point. I wouldn't get rid of him, but definitely not. And then Filippo, only 42, so he's only gone up a little bit, which isn't that great. I hold on to him, wanted to get rid of him, but I just think I don't want to waste trade, and if he's going to be selected. So he's been disappointing, to be honest. So it's probably a hold unless there's some other player. Maybe. See, we'll talk about it in a second. And then we've got Marshall, 73. Happy with that. He actually, I'm happy with that. And Robertson, 95. We all knew his ability. It wasn't quite good enough for Brisbane, but he's definitely a good player for West Coast. And then, as we got here, the bench, 20 from Lombard, which isn't great. And he's only gone up a little bit. And he might even get dropped the next game. Not even playing next round either. And then we got Dobinson, 45. It wasn't that great either. And then McAndrew, who did well, 79. So, what I'll do this week, since it is a lot more players coming on the bubble, we're going to change in price next week. It's probably best to start making those tough decisions and who to get rid of and use up, or maybe even do a boost this week. So obviously you'll bring in the midfield. Yeah. So what do we've got here? Excuse me. And then we've got. No, we'll take off Blamire. Watkins is probably a bit weaker. Yeah, Blamire. Leave that for now. So that's what a bit like that. And in terms of defence, I might even have one off. Yeah, I was wrong, obviously, but yeah, Lindsay wasn't selected. So I'm not too sure what's going on with Win. Who was the one that partly got in? Who didn't play? So, um, not Windsor. No, it was Rosie. So I'm not too sure what happened to him. So I'll have a look, doing a bit more research on that. If it's just a temporary 1 week, I'll probably hold. Um, but he's going to go down in value even if he does manage to play. So that one might have been a one that's fooled everyone. Did okay last week though. Yeah, that one's a tough one. I think everything else though is either hold, although there might be a few other, probably maybe Lombard. 20 is just not good enough. Even maybe a Sharp. So not the cheapest rookies either. They're not the most expensive, but there's probably other players I want to get rid of. Lombard, I need to have a look. If I was going to get rid of Lombard, who I'll bring in. So you got Chris. Okay. Oh, it's only one game though. I'll probably bring him in next week. Braden Cook. So what I'll probably do, uh, probably best to probably bring a Cook in. I would say. And then if there is something wrong with Rosie, yeah, there's no one really. Max Connor, Jonas, Set, Poe Allen. Gibcus got dropped, which is a bit surprising. Murray, it's interesting. There's 259 though. Will he be able to do that? Nah. I don't know. I need to look into that more. Hugh Bound, he didn't really play. Yeah, people, you sort of already made money if you brought him in, Fonzie. Probably the wrong time. So, defence, maybe a bit of concern with Rosie, but I think probably at this stage, Braden Cook for Lombard. And I'll probably hold with Philippou. Just simply because, yeah, I still reckon we can get more money out of him, but I think, yeah, Lombard's probably the one I'll trade out there. In the midfield. Chase Jones, interesting. You probably already have the ones I already want. Probably hold, unless there's something else comes up. Calorie already made money on if you have him. There's no point there. Yeah, look at the other ones I'm not really that interested in. Sherry, I probably wouldn't mind bringing him in later on though next week if he plays. So, which I reckon he will after like this half decent game. Willem Duzma, probably too expensive. Did okay though. So I'll probably hold off for that now. Maybe just do a Cook to Lombard. I'll need to look at his break even Lombard, but I think if you're going to make more money off Cook, you do that for a failed rookie. But I'll need to look into that too. But I'm not concerned about Rosie. Let someone else have any more information about that, please tell me. And then if you've got Windsor, which I'm no idea, probably a hold. Yeah, it's a bit tough when you try and take the gamble. And, you know, at least he's on a hugely expensive. Like I'd rather a low score happen to a mid price than a primo like Rosie though. Yeah, so look, not terrible. A few great things with Sherry. Probably the reason why I finished this high this week. Everything else is pretty mediocre, to be honest. Probably save my round, but what I'll probably do is pretty much just that one trade. And probably need to grab a picture of what future trades and players who are going down in value and who's going up for the primos. We've got 302k left as well, so I could potentially go up. Maybe we could get rid of a Parish and go up, but probably should have done that this week. But then again, he scored 90 the other week, so who knows? And we've got North Melbourne anyway, so he could. There's still a chance of him doing well there. Who knows? North Melbourne can have a terrible game, and Parish can get 120, 130. Who knows? Did see a good game in the pre-season against Richmond, but it was pre-season, so yeah. All right, well, hopefully everyone did well this week, and see you later.